What up, y'all? It's the King. Just came from getting a cut. Got the fresh crown. And I want to talk about envy, jealousy, all that nut shit. But it's a reason that it happens. So stay tuned. So what up, y'all? It's the King. Just came from getting my cut. Y'all see my microphone is pink. You know what I mean? Swagged out. I got this joint because I said it remind me of pussy. I like pussy, so I figured I'd get the pink microphones. I could have got some black ones, but I'm always an outside of the box type of dude, so I just got the pink joints. But this came from Juice Pie, getting me a smoothie, and I wanted to tap in and make a video because I was thinking about like jealousy and why it exists. I've dealt with it a lot in my life, like from so-called friends to family members, and so forth and so on, right? Even in relationships and shit like that. But something that I realized about jealousy, especially like since I'm at this part of my journey where I've been like totally isolated to the point where there's nobody really around. And sometimes you'll look at it from a standpoint and thinking like there might be something wrong with you. That's why these people have these types of outlooks on you. May look at you like you think you this, you think you that, you ain't shit. That's why don't nobody like you and things of that nature. But comfort comes in the pack. That's why a lot of people roll in packs and shit like that. But I've come to be able to forgive a lot of people for the things that they've done, transgressions, if you may, but things of that nature, because I understand that jealousy comes from a place of envy. And people say, well, isn't envy and jealousy the same thing? No, they're synonymous, but they're not the same thing. Envy is like the act of wanting what another person possesses. So you have this envy that creates jealousy. Um, and it's crazy. It could be anything. People look at it from a standpoint like you have to have everything to have this, to be jealous of people. The crazy part is in this season of my life, y'all know I've gone through so many changes and lost so many things, but I still kept me at the end of the day. So I was out. I had went out to meet this guy though, and I'm not saying that he is jealous of me, but it's something that he said that rang an alarm bell that raised a red flag, which is something that I would look past previously when it came to like relationships and different people that I've dealt with. I had went to meet him out. He kept telling me, "Yo, come out. We about to go. To this little spot we like to go to. It's in Philly. It's called the Lock Bar." He was like, "It's a couple chicks meeting me. Blah blah blah. This is that and third. I'll be down there. A couple of my boys meeting me." And I was on some other shit, but I was like, "I'm gonna stop by," because he kept asking me to come. And the first we had went before, and it was a little weird, but this particular time he was like, "Come on, meet me down there." Da 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 da. And when I went this time, as soon as I walked in, I was fresh cut. I was, dipped and buttered, looking fly. Just being me. Here's what it is. And when I walked in, the first thing he said was, "Damn, it must be nice to just be pretty." And it was kind of like, well, what the fuck that mean? Like, what you talking about? You know what I mean? Like, we grown. I'm a grown ass fucking man, so I don't even understand where that was coming from. But it's like, people feel like they're cool with you, right? And even with them being cool with you, there may be things that you have that they wish that they possess, whether it be charisma, whether it be, people are jealous of over the weirdest things. But the gift that the universe or God or whatever you subscribe to has put in you might be something that somebody else wishes they possessed. The ability, people can be jealous from the ability of me to get on here and be vulnerable and talk about my life. Some people may want to do that and not have the courage to do it. It inspires some people. I do it because I know it inspires people, but all of the same, it makes people jealous that they don't have the heart to do it as well. So you have to be kind of thankful, especially like a person like me who's dealt with like bouts of jealousy, I've dealt with jealousy from family members. Like I had a brother, my brother, me and my brother don't speak at all. But when I say he is the biggest jealous bitch when it comes to me, and I say bitch because it's like it's weird to act like that, especially towards your brother. But like I remember one time I got in a full on fight with him This is when I had it was this bar I was gonna open up, and he does like carpentry work. And I don't got to get too deep into what it is he does, but I just remember this situation. And shit really broke my heart. And even after the situation, I still try my best to support him and be in his corner as much as possible. Something I never got from him. But this situation was like really the telltale situation where I really found out how he really felt about me. So this was at a time I had a lot of money just laying around all kinds of different places. Whether it was my house, my office, my mom's house. It just had money everywhere, right? Ain't like that no more. I keep all my money in the bank now. But back in the day, I was just like heavy on having cash like that. So I had got him. At first, I started out with somebody else doing the work. This guy had built a bar, and my brother was kind of like, trying to figure out how he could play a part, blah, blah, blah. Mind you, don't nobody got no money but me. But I figure you got a tangible skill I can use. But he wanted to be partners with me in this business, which was, it is what it is. Everybody want to be the boss and tell you the boss and can't figure out how to be the boss. But nonetheless, he wanted to be partners in this business. So I said, cool, we can do it like this. You do all the work. I'm going to clear up all the things money-wise. I'm going to buy all the material and all that stuff, and you just do it. If we going to be partners, I can't pay you to work. Like, that's not going to work like that. That's not how partners do. I don't mind buying all the material because even with that, I feel like we should be splitting the cost of that, but it's fine. I understand you ain't got a whole bunch of money. I got the money, so that's fine, right? So everything was going, and and it wasn't going the way it should have went, but not for nothing, it was what it was. So, um, one particular day, and remember, I told you he ain't had no money. So it's one particular day. Don't give me the line as to how it actually happened, but we ended up at my mom's house, right? And we was going back and forth. He was frustrated because he was broke, and we was arguing about something. I can't remember exactly what the argument stemmed from, but then he was saying things because at the time I had my tag place and I had all this money. And full disclosure, my grandfather started the tag place. Like, not started it. Like, no money was made before me. Let's make that clear. But he's the one who got the license for it. He got the license for it years ago. I was in high school. My grandfather got the license for my business, right? So it took for me. Now, mind you, everybody in my family that played some kind of, had some kind of problem with me getting this money and doing what I was doing had the opportunity. Nobody took it. I was the one that took it. I was the one that made it mine and did what I needed to do. But I remember him saying in the midst of the conversation, because I was like, "What you mad? Because I got money?" And he was like, "That money not even yours." Blah blah blah. I guess trying to allude to the fact that my grandfather started the business, but I finished it, right? So like we literally got into it wasn't really much of a fight because he like gripped me by my neck and I punched him in his face and then he like I like slammed me to the ground and held him there. My mom in the background, she crying, and I really thought about this shit. Like I never in a million years will have. This is my brother, right? It's funny because I was talking about like Travis Kelsey and Jason Kelsey, and like Travis Kelsey playing for the Chiefs, and the reason he plays for the Chiefs is because Jason Kelsey, who is his brother, put the word in with Andy Reid to be able to get him that look to play for the Chiefs. Like what brothers do, it's a family thing, right? And it's like that's all I ever wanted from my family, and I never got that consideration. It's like when I had money, they tried their best to use me the best they could. Got upset with it. Even I got this cousin, and the bar I'm talking about, it was a bar that was in my family. My aunt was running it. She was running the shit in the ground at the time, right? And I say all this stuff full disclosure because it's true. I'm not making anything up, right? So I don't really care who see it or how they fucking feel about it. But I remember my cousin, she got a little salty with me because I closed the bar down to start like to redo it and open it back up again. And I remember one time we was talking and she was talking about how I just came in and bogarted the bar and I didn't know what she could have did and blah blah blah. Mind you, she was working there where my aunt wasn't doing shit. So it's like these were the things that I was dealing with from my family, and I don't think it was necessarily because I took action as much as it was me taking action because somebody else could have did it and it might not have been a problem. Is how I'm looking at it. But this was something that I saw, especially from my family early on as a person, which always gave me this um, I don't want to say idea, but always gave me this this thought that it was something special about me because it was always a focus on me, and the focus was negative, right? Um, Especially for my family. Like I've had issues with every fucking body in my family for one reason or another. It is what it is. I just take it with a grain of salt. I love all my family. I'm to the point where I don't fuck with none of them, except for my mother. Everybody outside of that kiss my ass. But it just got me to realizing with different things I've been through, and I can go through a long laundry list. Like I'm just using my family as a result, but it's always a situation that I deal in that somebody starts feeling some type of way about the things that I do. Will never say them to my face, right? But always, eventually, it comes out in the wash. Like I was dealing in this situation where I don't even really want to. It's like I don't want to give niggas too much props or give them like some kind of ammunition to speak about. But I mean, fuck it. I would, I know this. I know I would do things like, let's say we on social media, and I would do things here and there, and people around me, they'll eventually speak on them in a way that it's like, damn, you got an issue with me doing this. Even though you won't say it to my face, it eventually always comes out. So why am I saying this? I say all this to say that we all may deal with these bouts of jealousy and things of that nature, but understand it's not really you. It's your energy. Is who you are as a person, right? That mirror that now I won't even say mirrors, but that shows what they weren't brave enough to be. So the jealousy is really a deflection of how they feel about themselves. It really don't have anything to do with you. So you just gotta really take it like that as it is with a grain of salt, and just forgive people, not get too buried into that part, because I was at a point where I used to get kind of buried in it. You feel me? Like really, like niggas is jealous of me, and it's kind of like at this point I don't care. I'm so used to it at my big age that it's like this shit normal now. I just bring it on, and I've been through the dark with it. I've dealt with it from people that I never felt would be jealous of me. Even like in relationships with you, like things not working out and you moving on. I dealt in a relationship for years that I thought that this person would at least want the best for me, and it turned out that that's not what it was. They just wanted to use me for what they could use me for, and it's cool. It is what it is. I was happy. I say this even with the things like even with the situation with my brother, it resulted in me after us fighting. I went in the basement and got some money to give him because he was broke. He my brother, right? That's how I look at it. Never had that like with him. If I needed something, it was always like a barter thing. That's money I never even seen again. That's money I just gave him. You get what I'm saying? I've never had that luxury from him at all. And not to say that I'm saying this to say that I wanted. I was happy to give it to him. We didn't even have to fight for him to get some money from me. But it was just that energy that he was harboring because he understands I have that favor that he don't got. So, it is what it is. Um, but it's when you realize these things is when you'll realize like you are who you are for a reason, and you stop taking it so personally. You stop taking it like it's a curse, and you let it show you for sure that you're really special. You are the chosen one. And with that being said, you can move from that space and move in your purpose. It took me a long time to get there. That's why I make these videos. That's why I do my content. So there's younger people watching me and understand that they could get this at 25 versus getting it at 45 like I am with my old ass. But it is what it is. Life's a marathon, not a sprint, not a race. So you get to where you get to when you're supposed to. I was supposed to go through what I went through and get to it at this point where I could be able to be an inspiration like I've been, you know what I mean? So, when people hate you, don't take it bad. It just goes to show that you are light. Like people often try to talk down on the light when they don't shine. So, just take it with a grain of salt and keep it moving. You know what I mean? So, welcome it. Motherfuckers, Kobe always said they don't hate the good ones, they hate the great ones. So, if people hating you, that means you're great. I know I'm great. And everybody that hate me know I'm great too. So, we'll just leave it at that. But yeah, I just wanted to tap in real quick. I know I like to make my videos. I think I'm going to this day party tomorrow, so I think I'm gonna make a video about the day party. I mean, yeah, of course, this video will be out later the week after the day party, but I think I'm gonna make it's called like a hooky party or ditch day. Like my boy had got me a ticket for it, so I figured I'd go. But it's a party where like grown folks, they they what am I trying to say? They hooky work to go to this party, and I've seen like videos and pictures from it. They've been going on for years. I've never been to one. You know, I've been in the mix of pretty much everything, but I've never been to this vibe of Ditch Day. So I'm gonna go tomorrow because I think it'll be a fun time and all that stuff. And even if not, you know, it's good to just have the experience of it. So I'm gonna go check out Ditch Day tomorrow, and I'm gonna make a little vlog for Ditch Day, throw something different on the channel. You know, it's just always me talking about life, but you know, I'm gonna throw a little bit of my experience up there as well. So you know, y'all stay tuned. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. You know, you got y'all stories. Start opening up, y'all. This is why I make these videos. This is a safe space for you to be able to talk, ask questions, and things. And I know eventually it's gonna happen. You know, I'm just restarting this channel, so I'm getting. You know, I mean, I'm just starting over with this channel, so you know, everybody's getting warmed up to me again and warmed up to the content. But not for nothing. It's the king. I'm here. I ain't going nowhere. So, you know, stay locked in. I'll see y'all next time with my pink microphone, y'all. Shit is all that. I fuck with this joint. But peace.